This is week 2 of discussion of Grey's Anatomy. I hope all of you viewers are paying close attention, because the fact is that I didn't start watching until 9:30 last night, so I'm not. But yeah, I was making dinner. Sorry, my mac and cheese wasn't done. So yeah, I came downstairs and I turned on the TV, and what was happening at the time when I turned it on was that there was this girl, she's probably like a teenager, who you come to learn later, I'm pretty sure had at some point been abducted and was being held in someone's basement for like many, many years, which is very tragic. So then they like recovered her. This is the part I didn't see. So somehow she gets to the hospital and her parents come and she's all like, I don't know who you people are. So I actually didn't see that part either, but you can tell that that's what happened. So then she's having surgery when I turned it on, or someone's having surgery. I think it was her. So then the other main thing that's going on is that all of the doctors, which I didn't really know, but apparently all of these people that we've known forever and ever are now at the end of their, I guess, their residency. So when they take their big doctor test that we talked about last week, they get to go to other places and have jobs, like real jobs. So I don't know if this means that this is going to be like the end of the show, because they're all like going to different places, and so that's a big thing. Christina, everyone like wants to hire her. Meredith is apparently like putting off going to her interviews, which Christina thinks is dumb, obviously, because she's Christina. So yeah, that's happening. Anyway, so abducted girl. Meredith and her have like bonded, so she like talks to Meredith. And apparently she has trouble talking to anyone else, I think. So part of it is that there's actually not a whole lot that happens in this episode. I'm really realizing as I talk about it that it's kind of a boring one. There's this really traumatic moment in the middle when Bailey they all go to pick up their kids, and Bailey is like, oh my gosh, my kid's not here. Because the woman who watches them or whatever, like, she's like, I don't know where he went. I just took my eyes off of him. And so then he comes walking back in, and with someone who's like, he had a bloody nose. That's all. But Bailey, in the meantime, has had like a total flip out and is like called a code something or other on the office. So it seemed like that was going to be a big deal, but it wasn't. She got her kid back, but of course she was a little bit traumatized because then there's this girl that has been gone from her parents forever. Anyway, so another thing that happens is that Richard that's ex-chief, in case you forgot, walks in on his wife with another man, because yeah, it's a big deal, I think, because she has Alzheimer's, as you may or may not know, but now you do. And she's in the facility, but he also has Alzheimer's, and so they like don't, and so now they're like a new couple. And so at the end of the episode, he's like, I'll always love you and you can always call me, but I don't think you need me or something. He doesn't say that. He's not like, you don't need me, but she's in love with this other guy right now. So yeah, so that happens for him. Okay, so I guess what happens with the girl ultimately is that she like heals. She had to have another surgery. They had to like crack her chest. Yeah, and they're fine. And her parents take her back, and she's like I want to leave my past behind, except less quaint than that. And so Meredith also, in the end, like goes for interviews, and one of them's in Boston. She's like, you're my top choice. You're like, oh my gosh, Boston, what's gonna happen? Like, what about McDreamy? And what's her kid's name? Zola. Yeah, like when they go to Boston, it's just like, what's going on? So another thing that happens is that Owen the whole time is flipping out because he's got this girl who's like a major news thing in the hospital, not in the office. That'd be weird. And there's people like coming taking pictures of her, and he's like trying to prevent that, and the parents are like, you gotta help keep her safe, and so he's flipping out. And so Christina's nice to him, sort of, kind of. I mean, she's like, you're doing your best. So it looks like there's this possibility that maybe they'll actually still get back together, which I don't really like that, but she shares a fruit basket with him, which is a nice thing to do. She got it from some scouting somewhere. I think it was Columbia. Anyway, and she's like, here, have an apple. So that's their tender moment of the episode. Also, Teddy finally talks to Owen because she's like, you have to keep Christina here. Because that's another thing, that they don't have to leave. They could, like, stay at this program, but they could go to another place. They're all going to, like, super fancy places, by the way. Like, Alex is trying to go to, like, Yale, and Christina's, like, Johns Hopkins, and Avery is trying to go to, like, California, and then really annoying girl, April is looking somewhere, but they said that they don't like her personality. So, okay, what was the point I was, alright, I don't really remember exactly what point I was making with that. Oh, but that they can stay where they are. So, so Teddy's like, you have to keep her here, and Owen's like, I can do nothing. You have to do that on your own, and don't you ever talk to me about my wife again because we're not friends, like you made clear. So it's like backlash against when Teddy was really upset about that. And Arizona wants Alex to stay. So I have this inkling that they're gonna get accepted to all of these awesome programs, then be like, but we love Seattle, and like stay forever so that Shonda Rhimes can keep writing shows for the next 8 years, or whatever. So that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, next week is gonna be cry.